The WWE WrestleMania 36 situation is becoming rather drawn out, with many hoping WWE would have made a decision by now about what it intends to do about the event amid the coronavirus. It is believed Vince McMahon is holding out the decision because he would rather the city of Tampa cancel the event and not the company. On Thursday, we reported WWE had contingency plans in place should government officials call the event off. Fox 13 and Tampa reported WWE and Hillsborough County are in a standoff regarding the fate of WrestleMania. The Hillsborough County Commissioner Les Miller noted that city officials will make the call for WWE if they do not make a decision soon. Miller said, "I'm hoping that Vince McMahon and WrestleMania and WWE make the call themselves, but a week from now, if they've not done that, and we're still in the situation we're in, we'll probably have to pull the plug on that." A statement from WWE read, "While we remain committed to hosting WrestleMania at RJ Stadium on Sunday, April 5th, we are putting contingency plans in place in the event that is canceled by government officials." Hillsborough County Sheriff Chad Cronister, probably butchered his last name, but I don't give a shit, cautioned that public safety needs to come first in the matter. He said, "On the matter, I commend every sports franchise for erring on the side of caution. I hope the WWE follows suit. I don't ever want to see people put profit over public safety." Whew. What are your thoughts on that, Dave? It does seem like, thank you for the host there, Adam Baum, that Vince McMahon is going to not be the one who cancels the event. He wants Tampa Bay, the government of Tampa Bay or Florida, to cancel the show so Vince doesn't look like the bad guy. That's what it seems like to me. Because the obvious thing to do, Dave, is to cancel the damn event or postpone it. Yeah. I understand that people have spent thousands of dollars on WrestleMania already. I truly understand that. But you have to think about safety and just fucking common sense to not have 70 plus thousand people all together in a stadium when there is a virus as the corona that's so serious out there. You would have to assume that they canceled this event, right? Thank you, Richie. Appreciate you and have a good night, my friend.
Yes, but what if they did do, like, I know everyone's making jokes about it for a couple days, but what if they did an empty arena WrestleMania at the PC? What if they did something, and what if they even went this far as to do some type of event where they had, which can you really get all those people to go there to be there for that? So
to be noted, Dave, I do have a contingency plan that they have talked about. Okay. They were looking at a Summer Mania. June or July is one of WWE's plans, I believe, with the European travel ban. Number of events shutting down and even the NBA season outright suspended. I can't see how WWE can run Mania now. Things have changed drastically in the past 48 hours with the coronavirus. I had an interview with Drew McIntyre today, but he's been flown back to the U.S. following the travel restrictions they just put in place. So there you go. That is according to Alex McCarthy. I'm not sure of Talk Sports. I'm not sure how credible he is, but he feels like it will be canceled into a later date.
And you know what's going to happen if that happens?
What's that?
Do we want to talk about I guess I'll wait. We'll talk about that later. I was saying we talk about the other side of this, though. Not the WWE side, but the other side of the farm of this whole situation. But there's other options. I mean, if they don't want to postpone it, which they should, and do something, and just ignore everything, I guess, and just keep putting on these empty arena shows, I guess, if they're going to keep going that route, you know. But I don't know what they're going to do with TakeOver. They postpone that too, I guess, and just say it's not happening. I mean, I guess we'll see. But the flip side of everything, the WWE would be fine If they have to wait 6 months before they can really do shows again, they'll be fine. If they have to wait a year before they can do full shows again with audiences, that'd be fine. The problem is WrestleCon and all these other small people who count on these shows because they piggyback off of WWE WrestleMania to put on great shows, and now they're going to have to return all that money.
Right.
It's going to kill a lot of these businesses, a lot of these
Speaking
smaller
of
promotions.
WrestleCon, it said a statement was released on WrestleCon's Twitter today, alerting fans that they are reviewing the event and if it can go ahead. The statements read, going to pin this on the top. Please give us some time to figure out if we are having the event, canceling, or postponing. Your individual needs will be met, but not today. We are not Ticketmaster. We aren't going to keep your money. So there you go. Jeffrey Cross makes a good point, saying they want Tampa to cancel because then WWE gets insurance pay, which is what Vince is doing. Vince, look, WWE's not... Regardless of what your thoughts are on WWE, they're not dumb. They understand the situation. They understand of how risky the situation is. And they're not dumb to have thousands of fans in an arena where they can affect everyone, the wrestlers, the personnel, the WWE, everything. We understand that. But what Vince is doing is just holding off until Tampa shuts it down, which they're going to do. Tampa is going to shut down WrestleMania. They have no other choice. Florida is one of the hotbeds of one of the corner. It's New York, Florida, and I forgot the other state, Washington. Washington, that are the... Thank you, Jeffrey Cross, for the bits. Appreciate that, brother. Very, very much. Thank you for that. That are the breeding grounds of this coronavirus. So it's just not smart. It's just not a great idea for WWE to do this. And I don't think it's going to happen. I think they're just building it up. They're going to continue to build up, because why would they just automatically change shit all around? They got to continue the WrestleMania build up. Even if it's in June, I don't know how they're going to do it. That's WWE's job on that. But it's just it doesn't make any sense for them to go on with this show and put so many people at risk. The one thing that it does hurt, like you said, are the independent shows. So there's like over 60 shows going on during that WrestleMania weekend. And I can't remember which one Bobaruski said that some of them don't have insurance on the pay. So if they don't have the show, they're out of money. And it hurts them. So
yeah, someone said that one of the guys said he's going to have to sell his house to pay back all the money.
Wow, that's horrible. That is very, very horrible. And I think Brian Alvarez is doing some sort of thing where he's allowing you to be on this show and hype up stuff and try to get, maybe people to donate to you or some way, somehow.
Because people are telling you to go get people's Patreon, give them some money, do something to help them.
I know Sienna did something on Twitter saying if you have a Patreon or a PayPal to tweet her, and she'll help you out as well if you're a wrestler. So it seems like a lot of people are helping each other out. But, man, the indie shows are going to take a huge hit. Yeah, WWE will be absolutely fine. No problems there because they'll get the insurance money. They'll get all that shit. They'll be fine. But it's the Joey Janela Spring Break. It's all the other independent shows that are going on throughout the week. Thank you, Tom Gamer Freak, for the follow. Appreciate that.
I won't say who said it, but someone said that Vince McMahon should give them money to help them out.
Marion Watson, a fan of the show.
I wasn't gonna call him out like that.
Well, I think he sees a lot of these basketball players and owners like Mark Cuban who are helping out the fallen of the workers who aren't able to work during this time, which is a very nice gesture. Yes,
but if they worked for Vince, then yes, I would agree he should help people out, which I'm sure everyone's being compensated with their travels or whatever. But I don't think he should be helping fund other people who are trying to basically piggyback off of WrestleMania weekend to make money, and so now it gets canceled. I'm just going to screw everyone else's plans up, because basically, what is WrestleCon and what is all these other shows? Just a bunch of high fives and hugs with your favorite wrestlers.
I mean, I understand your point there, and if Vince McMahon has no obligation to help these other wrestling companies or independent shows.
Yeah, they're trying to not rip off, but they're trying to get money off of his show.
That's not true, though. Look,
if it wasn't for WrestleMania, they wouldn't be doing these shows.
That is true, but WrestleMania WrestleMania weekend in general is the Super Bowl of wrestling. And
but why is it?
I get it because of WrestleMania, but it's the weekend where wrestling fans all sorts get together, and I don't think it is piggybacking a bit off WrestleMania. I understand that, and I'm not saying that WWE should pay or Vince should pay any of these indie shows that are going to be affected by it, but I do think it would help if we did or someone else helped them out, because they're going to take a huge hit, man. Some of these people are going to lose a lot of money because of this coronavirus scare and everything getting canceled. So if you can help out your favorite wrestler, like Bob Aruski said, if they have an OnlyFans or a PayPal or some sort of donation place where you can help them out, I'm sure they would really, really appreciate it. I'm not sure how bad Joey Janela will get hit or some of the higher profile indie wrestlers, but a lot of these guys are going to be stuck big time if this show does get canceled. Let's see. Let's read some of the comments here, Dave. Let's see here. Thanks again for the follow, Tom Gamer Freak. Any show is going to take a hit, but it's nobody's fault. This casualty of bad circumstances, says Ian Dunn. The center they used for Axis had a case of it, I think. Oh, Jesus. Let's see what else here. A lot of businesses are going to get crippled, not just wrestling, says Ian Dunn. On a flip side, if you're AEW or Tony Khan, would you attempt to help them out? I would.
Oh, Tony Khan, maybe I could see him doing something because he wants a lot of these guys. Maybe they do something, but I don't know.
Imagine Look, if you're Tony Khan, and I'm not saying that this is going through his mind, he already helps out other shows as well, allowing his wrestlers to go perform on other shows. Imagine the publicity that Tony Khan would get if he was like, Khan donated blah 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 certain amount of money to certain wrestling companies because their shows got canceled. Imagine the publicity he would get.
Yeah, no, that's a different story, and that's a good thing too, because it's not like, so were there other shows at the All In weekends doing other wrestling shows? I'm sure they were. I don't know. Maybe not. But I know even SummerSlam, they do the same thing, don't they? They have other shows around the SummerSlam weekend.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
He's never been, yeah. But yeah. Well, yeah, it'd be good for him because he would get he came in and saved the indies, and Vince is trying to kill the indies.
Yeah.
And Vince created the coronavirus and all that.
Regulator 34 says the common sense aspect of not having large events with a lot of people is obvious, but playing devil's advocate, it's a non-government private business wanting to have an event at a private venue. Nobody takes issue with government taking away the right to choose, which cripples a ton of individuals and small vendors financially, says Regulator 4. Bob Aruski says, better effing help Evolve since you sent NXT talent down there. I can see them helping out Evolve.
Yeah, I think they basically own Evolve.
Vince being a terrible person aside, this would be a difficult decision for any businessman in his position. His stock is cratering, and WrestleMania is a saving grace for the company's financial year. Those other sports that are postponing their seasons are in much more sound place financially than the WWE and don't depend on one event. Plus, given the size of the event and the storylines that are built up for it, the logistics of moving it to a later date are extremely difficult, says Mr. AEW.
Yeah. Okay, since the XFL is going through a tough time, you think the NFL is going to chip in and give them some money? No.
Moxley donated to a few people, says Bob Aruski. So will the Hall of Fame have zero in attendance? I would assume so.
It should. They should have a Hall of Fame because half the people going in the Hall of Fame are in that age range who can get sick and not recover.
Let's see here. What else do we have here? Raise the gain to my mic a little. What the hell does that mean? I don't even know what the hell the gain means. Is that volume? They're putting a wrestling show on YouTube on Monday with Ospreay and a couple of other wrestlers to try to raise money for wrestling. I think Bob Aruski posted that in our Discord.
Yeah, I think it's either Alpha Resonum or doing some, or was it Pro Wrestling Tees? One of the two who said that they're gonna looking to put on a show, and that you can donate to the wrestlers who are wrestling in the show to them personally.
CBA
Have like
voting
a
is
star.
officially closed. Let's hope it's a yes, says Jeffrey Cross. WWE better postpone WrestleMania 36 and save it for the summer. Wrestle Talk, said Noob. Wrestle Talk is doing the show. Yes,
Oh,
your
okay.
voice is way more lower than Dave Cornette. Yeah, because Dave sounds louder
Oh, sorry.
than I do. I don't know why. For some reason, Dave's always sounds louder than I do. I'm not. I look. I've said this many, many times. I'm surprised I'm able to have this setup that we have here on Twitch. I don't know how to mess with the volume. I don't know how to mess with the audio. That's something that I need to learn and take time to learn on it. That's just my dumbass, my favorite quote, not knowing how to be a computer whiz. CBA better be reworked given the state of the economy after this mess. Oh, no problem, Norton. I appreciate you letting me know, though. I appreciate that. Your volume is good. Thank you, Regular 34. I appreciate that. But yeah, I'm learning on the job. I'm not a big computer whiz. I'm like, dumbfounded at some of the things that some people can do on Twitch. It's just crazy. It's the type of stuff they can do, and I'm learning on the job. Dave is always louder than Tony. Yes, he is. That is very true. I'm not sure why. David just uses his regular headsets. I'm not sure why he's so much louder than I do, or I am. Maybe it's just the microphone.